Releasing that Final Fantasy 16 demo was the smartest thing that Square Enix could have done. Now, I played the demo last night, and I want to preface this with one simple thing. I had zero expectations on how Final Fantasy 16 was going to be because of how meh I found Final Fantasy 15. And to be completely honest, I'm such a Final Fantasy 7 fanboy, all I really cared about was more news of Rebirth. Every time that Sony held a conference or some kind of showcase, all I really wanted was more Rebirth stuff. The FF16 stuff looked cool. They showed off a lot of the summons fights, and it looked really cool, but there was just nothing really pulling me in. Now that is how I used to think, because oh my god, this demo is brutal, and it completely changed my expectations for Final Fantasy 16. The last 15 minutes of this demo made me feel more emotion than probably the entirety of Final Fantasy 15 combined. That's how hard and how powerful it is. Now look at this clip. Did you catch that? See how my eyes are darting to the right? That is because I am looking to see how many viewers might get to see a grown man cry in a second. Now the reason this was so brilliant is because Square Enix seemed to be having a hard time really selling the game to people. After a certain point, it just became this blandness where they kept going back to the summon fights. Well, that looked really cool, but until you play them, it just doesn't feel the same. And when you play the one in the demo, it feels absolutely incredible. Showing off the graphics of the showcases absolutely doesn't do it justice. I think they're really awesome, and it's not something that is going to work nearly as well as in trailer that it does when you play it, which is a lot of things. Now what I'm really curious about is if they had the first couple hours tightly packed like this, and they set up the story because they always planned on doing a demo, because then again, Final Fantasy VII had the remake, Final Fantasy VII Remake had a demo, that was kind of put out as an apology that they delayed the game about a month, so I don't know if they plan on doing that, but who knows, maybe when they released that, they saw a huge pre-order jump, and they thought, oh, this is the way to do it. Especially now that we're going almost full action-based, we really believe in the system, getting people to try it, this is the way to do it, so we gotta really hit them hard, and get a very tightly packed demo with both some good action sequences, a summoner battle, and some hard-hitting prologue story moments. All I know is now after playing the demo, for someone like me that wasn't even sure they were going to play it day one, I am so hyped for this game. I cannot wait for it. I'm so pissed I played the demo 8 days before the game came out, because now I have a full week of sitting here just wanting to know what happens. Just wanting to know what happens next. And God, the antagonist in this pisses me off so much. I can't get it in there and make them pay. Now, there are some worries about this game that, there's going to be a lot of lows going into the next, chapter or the next section after the prologue, which you can expect. It will probably slow down a little. It is a very long RPG. You can't keep that pace up forever, but honestly, if they just keep 25 to 50% of this pace throughout the entirety of the game, and they keep the story moving, this game is going to be amazing. Now, let's be real, we are still going to be doing side quests where, one, we're going to have to find someone's pet. The other one, we're going to have to go gather herbs to make medicine for some NPC that's randomly dying of dysentery. But that is okay as long as the pacing in general moves quickly and doesn't get stuck in these long ruts and incredibly long cutscenes of people just talking. Now, also, don't get me wrong, there were a couple scenes in there, like the one where a peasant or servant, it seems they are in slavery, drops an apple, and there is like a 4 to 5 minute cutscene about this. And I get what they're doing to show that, these people are basically slaves. They're kind of scared of the higher-ups. They're worried about getting punished if they talk to them wrong. But it just felt like it kind of dragged on a little bit. Too long for me, and I'm worried a lot of those cutscenes are going to go like that. I think they could have gotten their point across a little bit quicker than that. But that might be kind of splitting hairs. It didn't ruin the experience. It didn't take me out. Just kind of like, the last, minute, I was like, all right, I'm walking here. So yeah, the combat in this game felt incredibly good. I love how the evasion feels. I love how the Russian feels. The only thing I hate is I can't just swap, to my knowledge. If someone knows this, leave this in the comments. The R1 with the circle button, because coming from a Dark Souls background, And Bloodborne circle is my dodge, and R1 in most games is my dash. So that would help me immensely, but all I can see is you can change control types. You can't change the buttons. So I might just have to get used to that, but it was driving me nuts. How many times I went to dodge an attack, and I just red rushed right into his ass and just got myself hit. It was getting very frustrating, but I'm sure I'll get used to that too. But if you have a PlayStation 5, you like action games, or hell, you even like Game of Thrones, the show, this might be the game that gives you hope that a mainstream Final Fantasy game that isn't a remake can have you feeling like you used to back in the old Final Fantasy days, where it felt like the story was a little bit better, a little bit higher grade. I'm not giving spoilers here, but you just gotta play it. This is looking like it could be the game that gets a lot of people back into good graces with Square Enix for being able to make a Final Fantasy game that is good, that isn't either a remake or a cast of characters that really enjoy a light spring jacket. So that's my opinion, guys. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you thought about the demo and the story. Be warned, I don't care if there are spoilers in the comments. If you haven't played it yet, even though it's a demo and you're thinking, it's just 2 hours, if it's spoiled, don't really care. I would just play it first, because there is some curveballs in there that you do not expect, and it gets really dark really quick.